Have you ever asked yourself why, despite years of chanting, meditating, and attending Dharma teachings, your mind still feels clouded, your reactions unchanged, and your life stuck in the same cycles? Have you ever silently wondered if you're just going through the motions, but not really changing inside? Welcome back to the channel. I'm grateful to have you with us again today. In this video, we'll be looking deeply into one of the most painful and confusing experiences on the spiritual path: stagnation. There is a kind of spiritual fatigue that no one warns us about. It's not the fatigue of chanting too much or sitting too long. It's the weariness of putting in effort but seeing no results. It's the silent despair of practicing for years and realizing that your mind is still caught in anger, your heart still closed, your habits still stubborn. But before you give up or judge yourself too harshly, let's explore what might be missing: two powerful but often overlooked foundations of real spiritual transformation. The first is deep and honest self-reflection. Most people think they're reflecting when they're actually ruminating. They revisit the same thoughts, repeat the same stories, replay the same regrets. That's not reflection, that's rumination. True reflection is courageous. It cuts through your defenses. It asks uncomfortable questions. It exposes what you've been trying to avoid. For example, many practitioners say they meditate every day, but when asked, "Why do you meditate?" they respond with vague answers: "To calm my mind, to gain peace, to become enlightened." These are admirable goals, but they're also abstract. The real question is, what specifically are you working with? What is the wound you have not faced? What is the pattern you keep repeating? I once met a man who had been meditating for 15 years. He had the best cushions, the clearest incense, a bookshelf of sutras. But when we talked, he admitted, "I've never really asked myself why I'm angry all the time." He had been trying to silence the anger with practice, instead of investigating its roots. Once he began to explore the childhood pain, the unspoken expectations, the silent self-criticism, then the practice became alive. Then change began. Without reflection, practice becomes decoration. You might look spiritual, you might talk spiritual, but you'll still be driven by the same unconscious fears, desires, and habits. Reflection is the tool that brings these into the light, and it must be done regularly, not once, not when you hit a crisis, but like brushing your teeth. Daily, thoroughly, compassionately. The second foundation is renunciation, not of the world, but of attachment. Too often, we interpret renunciation as leaving home, shaving your head, or living in a monastery. But real renunciation has nothing to do with location. It's about the heart. Have you let go of the need to be right, the need to be praised, the need to win, the need to always feel good? Without renunciation, our practice becomes another way to feed the ego. We seek calmness, not because we want truth, but because we want comfort. We seek teachings not because we want to serve others, but because we want to feel superior. And the worst part is we don't even see it happening. One teacher said, "The ego doesn't mind if you meditate, as long as it gets to take credit for it." Let that sink in. If your practice makes you more judgmental, more self-important, more emotionally detached, then it's not helping you awaken, it's helping you hide. But what does renunciation look like in daily life? It looks like letting go of your need to control every outcome. It looks like smiling even when no one notices your effort. It looks like saying, "I don't know," instead of pretending to be wise. It looks like serving someone who cannot repay you. It looks like being kind to someone who irritates you. It looks like staying present when you'd rather escape. Renunciation is not the absence of pleasure, it's the presence of clarity. When you renounce attachment, joy becomes simple. A cup of tea is enough. A quiet evening feels complete. A friend's success becomes your own. Without renunciation, The mind is always restless, chasing, grasping, comparing. And no amount of Dharma books or incense will calm that kind of mind. But with renunciation, even a single breath can bring peace. And now, why are these two, reflection and renunciation, so often missing? Because they are not glamorous. They don't show on Instagram. They don't give instant relief. They require humility. And most of all, they require discomfort. But discomfort is not the enemy of growth. It is the evidence of it. Think about the caterpillar. Before it becomes a butterfly, it dissolves into goo. It becomes unrecognizable. That's transformation, and that's what we resist. We want to change, but we don't want to dissolve. We want growth, but we don't want discomfort. So we plateau, we stagnate, we pretend. But deep down, we know something's missing. Let me share a story. A practitioner once told me, "I used to feel peaceful when I meditated. Now I feel nothing." I asked him, "What changed?" He said, "I think I got used to the ritual and forgot the purpose." That's the danger of routine. It makes the sacred feel ordinary. To revive our practice, we must go back to the root. Am I being honest with myself? Am I willing to let go of my attachments? If the answer is yes, even just a little, then you will start to feel the spark return, not instantly, but gradually. Like sunlight melting frost, like warmth returning to cold fingers. You'll notice you react a little slower, you judge a little less, you listen a little more. You're still human, still messy, still flawed, but softer, kinder, clearer. That is progress. It's not flashy, but it's real, and real is what we need. So today, I invite you to pause and reflect. What have you been avoiding? What attachments still run your life? Where have you confused habit with growth? Sit with these questions. Write about them, talk about them, pray with them. Let them break you open. And then, begin again. Not as someone who's practiced for 10 years, but as someone who's finally ready to practice fully. If this video spoke to something in your heart, please share your thoughts in the comments. Have you felt stuck? What helped you move forward? Your honesty might be the key that unlocks someone else's transformation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with others who may need it. Let's keep walking this path together, not as perfect people, but as people who refuse to stop trying. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.